Boom.
What up, y'all?
Nobody's got their
we're
speaker
here.
on. What's up, guys?
All right.
What up?
Everybody
We are
here?
here. For
Yeah,
those of you who don't know, this is the Northeast RC Racer podcast. We're super excited tonight to have not only a group of our colleagues, comrades, co-hosts, bunch of great guys from the Slow is Fast podcast. We have Alex here tonight, Taylor, Mike, and Dave. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
No, Davey.
Well, I can't say it was my
Hi, Dave.
idea.
But yeah,
George.
no Davey. No Davey.
Yeah,
though.
Davey is busy tonight.
and no picture of you, George. So you're just the mysterious participant.
After racing 12 hours yesterday plus the commute, nobody probably wants to see my face for sure. But we figured we'd bring it to you tonight, JQ style, a little late to the game, but nonetheless, we are here. And I'm here with my boys, Toby and Tom Petrella, and Vin Manchanda will join us a little bit later. In the meantime, Toby had this awesome idea to get these guys from Slow is Fast on the podcast so we could see what we could brew up, talk about in the Northeast community. Probably a lot of conversation about action and racing at LCRC. So I'm going to step back a little bit and let these guys take it away.
All right, we're just pulling in Vin here. So
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, Vin?
Sorry, guys. Sorry for the delay. Had some trailer issues coming back from motocross today, and we just made it safely, thankfully. Here we are.
All's well that ends well. You made it. Because now it just
Yep.
becomes a story you can talk about later.
Yeah,
In the midst of it, it sucks, but afterwards you can talk and laugh about it.
right. Expensive little story.
Yeah.
So far in the comments, we have 2 people who are in this podcast. So 3 of them. You guys are welcome. We got Tim. What's up, Tim? And
Some
Alan
real class
Placer.
acts.
I know, right? Guys, anything to do get the fucking likes, right?
Got to get the algorithm
Hey, it
up,
gets
baby.
us in the algorithm, Toby. That's how we get popular.
Yeah, like and share, and all that.
Yep.
All that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe, donate, all that.
Donate. That's a good idea.
Got to hit the
What's up,
star
OnlyFans?
button.
We got Braden joining in. So, what are we talking about, guys?
It's a great question.
Good
He
question.
joined on your podcast.
Oh, there's a brick
RC.
wall.
Oh, we got
we
a brick
got
wall for George. We're getting better, George.
You assume there's some kind of plan here. Oh, we got Sean Duffy.
Working on it.
Duffy's on. Brittany Donald's on. I don't have my
Lauren?
glasses on for Lauren.
Word.
D-word.
Put your glasses on. So, I guess we could. Yesterday we had the Northeast RC Racers podcast, second annual race, right down at Rhythm Raceway. Tom's put on a good show, so I guess that's a good place to start. Tom, do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of the event, how it went, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, Toby, can I override you? Let's real quick for the people.
Whatever
I know
you
most people are talking that watch Northeast RC really listen to Slow is Fast, and I love listening to Slow is Fast podcast. I think Taylor and Alex might do a good job, but maybe just real quick around the horn for those guys, real quick. I know probably a lot of the. I think I'm looking at most of the names on this list here. Race at LCR, so they probably know all these guys already from coming there. But just in case somebody's listening, let me just quick go around the horn. Alex, Taylor, Mike, and Mike. By the way, I got to ask for Tim Monty. Is that a terrible towel over there you're using? A Pittsburgh terrible towel?
But this?
Yeah.
No, it's just an Nord drag. Just
All
Nord
right.
drag.
That's a super fancy microfiber.
Yeah.
But Alex, why
Mine's
tell us real
terrible towel,
quick?
yellow.
Just where you guys from? I know you guys are out in PA, right? How far out in Western PA?
Yeah, I'm by Seven Springs ski resort. If anyone knows where that is, and like down in the bottom corner, I'm 40 minutes from Maryland, 40 minutes from West Virginia. I'm an hour-ish east of Pittsburgh, in the middle of nowhere. WOCRC is my closest home track. What else do you want me to say?
What does OCRC stand for anyway?
Wide open, crazy RC.
Okay. Seriously, or that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't come up with the name.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What else you want?
How'd you get in the hobby?
I was in middle school, started putting big motors on Walmart grade cars till my dad cracked the whip and took me to the local hobby shop at the time in Connellsville. He's like, save up $150 and go buy a real car. And it's exactly what I did. And then not too long after that, found out there was a track in Somerset, Pennsylvania. And then I plowed as many driveways and mowed as many lawns as I could, all high school pretty much. And here we are. Long story short.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that. And now you're the guy calling the races over at LCRC for everybody.
Yeah, I still can't believe I got to that.
Alex, good guy to know. I need you to. I got a few guys when they come out there. I need you to start calling their names. I didn't wreck every time you say their name.
Oh, okay.
From a competition standpoint, you can just keep saying their name over and over.
Williard.
And keep making fun of Matt.
Williard needs to focus. He's already driving the wrong car out there on the track. The last thing he's doing is somebody else calling his name.
That was honestly probably one of the funniest things I've seen all year. Like,
and especially to happen to him.
I thought he was mad at first, and then once I heard like the actual circumstances, I was dying. I thought that was hilarious.
I think we should ask Mike a lot of technical questions. He's gluing tires. We'll see if that tire sticks to his shirt as he gets done.
He's pretty talented.
Sure it
He said it won't.
if it sticks to my shirt, I'm leaving.
Mike, you out in Alex's neck of the woods, out that far, or where are you from?
No, so I am about 20 minutes south of the city of Pittsburgh, in Washington. More specifically, like Canonsburg area. But down here.
Cool. How long have you been doing the hobby for? How many years?
Great question. Probably 20 to 25 years or so. Like from hobby to racing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So my brother and I were pretty young. We wandered into a hobby shop right by my dad's house when we were young, and that Christmas my dad bought us cars. So my brother had a Nitro Rustler, and I had a T-Max.
Okay, cool.
So
Nitro T-Max too?
Yeah.
Broke you in right.
Yeah, long before really electric was as what it is now. Like there was no brushless motors and stuff back then in these cars. Yeah.
How old were you at that point, you said? Or did you say?
I was probably, I don't know, 5th grade-ish. So like probably whatever, how old that is, 13, 14.
12, 10, 12, 13 years. To learn with a nitro car and stick with it, that's pretty awesome, right? Because stuff can go wrong too. I give Traxxas credit on that one, right? I used to have a T-Max. That thing started up, ran all day.
Oh, yeah. Their RTR kits are awesome, honestly, in the nitro realm.
Yeah.
For that purpose.
So long time. Racing, probably like 12 years or so.
Is your nearest track WOCRC also, or?
No, so it would be 412 RC Raceway in Penn Hills in Pittsburgh. That'd be the closest track.
Indoor, outdoor?
It's outdoor 8 scale. Well, I mean, we were on 10 scale, but it's an 8 scale track.
Gotcha.
And then about an hour north of me is TR Speedway, indoor carpet. That's where we go in the wintertime. And then WO is hour and a half, hour and 45.
You got Browns too by you.
Oh yeah, Browns. Yeah, I don't really frequent Browns personally, but it's about 45 minutes to Ohio for that one. But
pretty jealous having stuff that close to you guys, having those options.
Why? How close is your own track, Tom?
Well, the indoor track's awesome. The indoor track's literally 3 minutes down the road.
Okay.
So, but the outdoor track's about 40 minutes for me each way.
Oh, that's close.
But I go there in the morning. Jim Lilly will get there. Jim gets there at like 6:30 during the week to want to work on the track. I'm like, dude, I gotta get up and get everything rolling. I'm not leaving my house to 7:30, 7:40. I'm not getting there till 8:30. He's already got an hour and a half in by the time I get there. And then he wants to be done at noon. I'm like, well, you've been here for that long. I've only getting, I don't want to drive 45 minutes each way to spend an hour and a half working on the track. But either way, we get it done. Who am I complaining about? It's no big deal. First world problems.
Yeah.
How about you, Taylor? Tell us a little bit about your foray into RC real quick so some of the listeners don't know you. Get a little feedback on it.
From Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. It's not near anything at all.
He lives on a mountain.
Middle of nowhere. I claim my closest hometown track to be LCRC, although it's like 2.5 hours away. But really the closest track to me would be Macon Tracks. It's an indoor 10 scale clay track, probably an hour and 3/4 right now. Although I'll be relocating somewhere in upstate New York here, probably pretty soon in the next month or two. As far as like RC and stuff goes, I mean, I've had my little like Sears hobby kits and stuff like that I don't really count and all that. Probably been racing RC off road for like 4 or 5 years, maybe somewhere around there. I was always real big into like drag racing, and that's what I planned on doing for a full-time career and all that. It's what I went to school for with business and everything else. And so I always mechanically was there. I like taking things apart, and I always think I can make something better than whoever designed it. This is kind of like my attitude. So it's like, no, I'm going to take this car apart and like completely rebuild it.
You drove your parents nuts as a kid, taking apart the vacuum cleaner that never worked again, and
yeah. Well, I bought my first car when I was 14.
Car, so he stops taking everything else apart.
Yeah, I bought my first real car when I was 14, and just completely tore it apart and started redoing things and all that. So fast forward a little bit, when RC drag racing kind of came out, I was like, oh, it's similar to kind of what I'm doing. Then I got into it, and it was like the learning process is something new for me, but really dove into. I love data acquisition, things like that, and analyzing things. So really enjoyed the process. Then I went to off-road RC that one of my best friends has tried to get me to do for like a long time. And finally gave in, bought a short course truck first, and then the rest is history.
Very cool. Well, there's a few questions that popped up. Let's just take a quick look at the comments. Mark Logan, good to see Mark. Braden talking similar to what he's done with, mowed lawns, plowed driveways. Braden, it's funny. I was having that conversation with somebody, I think, at the track the other day. We're talking about. I remember when I was a kid, I would, me and a buddy of mine opened a hobby shop down the road. I remember taking my mom's lawnmower and riding behind my bicycle, pulling the lawnmower, going and asking people if we could cut their grass. You make you make $200 on a Saturday, and of course you go piss it right away at the hobby shop. But it was quick money for a kid. That was good money back when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff. Mark Logan, you're right. Jim Lilly is the man. Jim will never see this. Jim doesn't have social media. I think he's got a bag phone. I know it's at least no more than a flip phone he has for a cell phone. So he'll never see this, but I'll try to relay the message. Tim Monty's got a question for you, Taylor.
What's that?
What's your one rep max in bench, squat, and deadlift?
So I don't one rep anything. I've never have in my entire life, and I'm not actually somebody that I count as strong, because all the days that I think I'm going to go push a lot of weight relatively are days that I end up not doing it. My shoulder gives out, something like that. But I'll rep 450 for some reps on a good day as far as bench goes. I've never tried to do a one rep though. At my age too, and all the injuries I've had in the past, I don't really want to anymore. The most I've done for dumbbells are just 160s for reps, but I can probably do that most week to week, all that. I got to look at the comments.
We don't have to give them all the numbers. Now. We got the answer.
No, he wants to brag about it.
Yeah, I do now. Deadlift, I actually got scoliosis in 2 different spots. Once when I was 17, I rolled the car through a telephone pole after hitting a bear. So I twisted my spine in between my hips, and I got a lot of back problems. So I don't pick anything heavy up off the floor anymore. And then squat. I used to race sport bikes for a little while. I took a break from drag racing, actually shattered my ankle with enough force to split my leg bone 6 inches. So I got a whole bunch of metal plates and stuff that hold my ankle together, and I don't have full mobility in it. So I can't flat squat real heavy. I mean, I'll do 4 plates for reps and stuff like that, but it's got to be on an angle, things like that. So if I got your answer there.
All right, Tim. Now I feel a lot worse about how little I can lift. Yeah.
12 ounce.
There you go. Well, that's all you need to really be able to lift. Everything else is just showing off, right?
Yep.
Cool. You guys have any questions for him? George, Toby, Vin?
I want to know more about the bear. Mark, so does Mark Logan. We want to know about you hit a bear, bro? Like what?
Yeah. So I was 17. All my friends were older than me at the time. And this is think the Fast and Furious kind of came out right about this time. I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse. That was the car I bought when I was 14. And my
Explains
buddy
why you're
was.
wearing your hat backwards.
What's that?
Explains why you're wearing your hat backwards.
Because
I'll have to show you pictures I found of him.
I guess I don't get the reference. I'm sorry.
Just being a smart ass. I'll explain it right next week when I'm outside of arm's length.
But so I was hanging out at the local college with my friends. Buddy calls me. He was installing some hood pins in a car and wanted some help. So I was driving over to his house, and it was like 11 o'clock on a school night, I remember. And a bear came out in front of me. I'm in the country, and it's a 2-lane road. I thought it was a dog at first. So I'm like, it's black, and it's at night, and I'm going 50 miles an hour. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, somebody's dog. And I love dogs all the time. So I did everything I could to try and miss somebody's dog, I thought. I ended up clipping it with the passenger headlight, and it killed it. It was like a 350-pound bear or so. And it kind of shot it off to the side. But I was trying to swerve to miss it. I clipped it. It pitched my car sideways. I was trying to counter steer. I had harnesses in my car, so I just remember the airbag blowing up in my face, and it was just being in the way as I'm trying to steer the steering wheel. And I couldn't counter steer it quick enough, and went up a bank the wrong direction, and I rolled it straight through a telephone pole in the air.
Damn.
Knocked myself unconscious. And I was right below my buddy's house. I knocked the power out to them, and they came, got me, and called 911 and stuff. So.
Wow.
Zoinks.
That's
Yeah,
a
man.
hard story.
I'm trying to think, how do we
Glad you're okay, man.
Yeah, thank you. What's that?
I'm thinking, how do we segue off of something like that?
Uh,
You're here. You're here. You're happy. You're always smiling. I love seeing Taylor at the track. If you guys don't know Taylor, is it team manager, official title at Mugen?
I think Krista came up with a title of like regional manager or regional parts connection. I never got an official title of anything. I don't really think I need an official title myself, but I just help with Mugen. So
Second nicest guy in RC.
Williard's first. Is that what you're going to put, Tom?
No. Get the hell out of here.
Matt Williard knows he doesn't have that title.
Yeah.
Hey, George, we see you now.
Look
You're
at this.
on the wall. There he
Hey.
is.
Boom.
Now he's going to turn himself off of mute. But
Another brick in the wall. My only question before was for Alex. How much is left in that 12-ounce?
Oh, this one's still pretty topped off.
Hey, this is our second podcast, George.
Yeah.
He's had a few.
Yeah.
Second of the evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
2 slushies down. So
All right,
that's
we got sloppy seconds.
yeah.
wait, you guys did one before this?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Yeah.
We had a quickie
I
all
got something to
together.
listen to on the way up to LCRC. I'll have to make sure
Yep.
to look it up. I'll be giving
Perfect.
We have
that
to
was the
release
plan.
content for our people somehow.
All right, we got to take a minute to run some ads here. Alex, you wanna? I got your ad uploaded. You wanna talk
Yeah.
about ACS real quick?
Yeah,
On the
our
ad?
friends that sponsor our podcast, ACS Hobbies, located in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, the southwest corner behind the Monroeville Mall. My favorite hobby shop to walk into on our side of the state. They got everything: the trains, the planes, the cars, the Gundam, everything. Tony and Colleen are great. They help us out a lot. They're great friends of ours, and yeah, support them if you can.
Just go run the ad real quick.
So, how do you hobby? At ACS Hobbies, we've got everything to fuel your passion and spark your creativity. Whether you're into RC cars, model trains, boats, or planes, we have a huge selection of kits, parts, and accessories. Need paints or tools? We've got you covered. Test your skills on our RC crawler course or race on our oval track. There's always something fun to do. Plus, discover an awesome range of games for all ages. ACS Hobbies is your ultimate destination for hobby enthusiasts. Visit us today and start building your next adventure.
Very nice.
We're back.
Boom.
And we're back.
Yo, I just wanted to say real quick, thank you so much for everybody who contributed to the 50-50 yesterday at Tom's Race. We use these funds to propel the podcast and get it online through with the software. So thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. Just wanted to take a moment to tell all you guys thanks a lot.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Got some comments in the comments. Tom,
I'll tell you what I'll do, Toby, if you're good with that. Let me just real quick. We'll run through what happened yesterday at Rhythm, talk about the race we had, and then we'll just get into some general chat with everybody and just, shoot a fat, as they say. But, George, Toby, Vin, they all agreed to sponsor a race again down at Rhythm yesterday. Pretty good turnout, 107 entries, which was awesome for us. A lot of awesome racing action the whole day. I have to admit, in the past, I haven't been pleased with the track. It really hasn't been up to the standards I wanted to see it at. But thanks to Jim's efforts, and really the podcast sponsoring the race kind of lit a fire under my ass to get out there and get the track even better than it was. And we tried a bunch of different stuff. We were out there for a good 6-7 days, just getting rocks up out of the track. We scuffed the whole track down. We rebuilt some of the jumps. We made it flow better. And I think it turned out really good. I mean, it was pretty rocky before, and it's pretty damn smooth now. And I think a lot of guys are attesting to that, which is a good sign. But it led to not only me feeling better about the track and being happy with the product we put out there, it led to some awesome racing action. We had races going all day yesterday. I'm going to do a quick rundown, just some of the results of the different races. A-scale E-buggy, that was our biggest class yesterday. We had 26 entries on that one. Benny Comerian ended up taking the win, but him and Enzo Albertoni had a good race back and forth. They were battling pretty hard most of the race. Enzo's, I tell you what, the first 2 times he was there, he struggled the first time, did much better the second time, but was still, towards the lower end of the top third. And then yesterday he figured some stuff out, man, and he was on point. He drove a phenomenal race. And then Ophir came in third, so I love busting Ophir stones whenever Benny kicked his ass. So that was good to see. I want to give a shout out to Bob Walker Jr. in the 4 and Nitro Mike in the 5. Those guys also did really well. Bob Walker Jr. is a class act. That guy he's out there with a knee brace on, watching the races, and somebody would wreck on the far side of the track, and the marshal was looking the wrong way. Before the marshal got a chance to turn his head, Bob was out there flipping the car over.
World's best marshal.
Sounds like Bob.
He's making a highlight reel.
So when I was pitting for Lutz in the Nitro Buggy, I can't remember if it's Nitro Buggy or the Nitro Truggy Main at Mugen. And Lutz and I don't say like a ton of things on the mic or anything, just whatever's kind of necessary. I don't want to break that guy's concentration. But Lutz made a mistake coming up the stair step at Mugen, which you'll have a chance to experience that here soon, Tom. And here comes Bob Walker Jr. out of nowhere, running, grabs his car, throws it. And Lutz goes on the mic, that guy's fast. I had to take Bob Walker Jr. aside and give him that compliment. I was like, man, you deserve this.
He sends me clips all the time from races that are doing the media bit of him marshaling. He's like, I'm making my own highlight reel for ESPN.
Yeah, Alan just commented that the E-Truggy race was a great race. There was a whole bunch of really great races actually yesterday at Tom's. The E-Truggy race actually was super hot, like the last couple of minutes of it. I don't know if you remember, Tom, when you were announcing, but there was, I think, first, second, and third were like half a second off each other for like 3 laps. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was good, close racing all day yesterday. The cars were racing each other and not racing the surface of the track, which is what I was trying to get us towards. So that'll bring us up to next for E-Truggy. Benny ended up taking the win on that one, but him and Bob Walker Jr. were just talking about Bob. Bob and him were battling back and forth. Bob would get in front for a while, and make a bobble. Benny get in front. Benny make a little bobble. Bob get in front, and then Pappenberg kept staying in there. He wasn't very far behind. And kudos to David Longacre and Ben White. I always love seeing Ben White. He actually running a full-size Truggy body, so I should give him an extra lap just for that.
Yep.
Right on.
But a lot of good racing there. I mean, I should go down all the names because there's just a lot of good people and a lot of good racing. A-scale Nitro Buggy. Benny took that one. Bob Walker Jr. right on his heels again. Those guys were going back and forth. I think at the end they were separated by about a half a lap, but not for the first 18 and a half minutes of it. They were going back and forth. Chris Focchiano's kind of got himself into a zone. He was sitting like 10 seconds behind the leaders and 10 seconds up on fourth and was just rolling, clicking off clean lap after clean lap. Tim Power started running him down a little bit. He got pretty close, but Focchi just never lost his focus, stayed doing exactly what he was doing before, and held on to the last step on the podium. And Dan Ross was also there. So Tim finished fourth. Dan Ross finished fifth. Dan had a damn good race. It was good to see him there. He was rolling as well. 40 plus e-buggy. Ophir took the win on that one. He was out there rolling, but I tell you, Pappenberg was right there with him as well as Mike Sinali. He likes to call himself Nitro Mike. You know, he's been running more electric than Nitro lately, so I'm calling him Electric Mike. George Takaris? No, George on the 4. George, you were right there as well. You were, what'd you finish? 5 seconds behind Nitro Mike, so you're only 5 seconds off of the podium?
Yeah.
Wow. I think you had a little rougher in the beginning. You had to claw back a lot. I don't have it in front of me with where your laps were, but talk a little bit about your race there, because I know you struggled. I know you were a little bit further behind the beginning, but next time I looked down, I'm like, shoot, he's up to fourth. He's gaining.
Yeah, it was good. I had a little trouble in the beginning and made a bobble or something like that, or had an issue going around a turn and dropped down. I think I started in 7th, and then whatever. It was just it was a good race. It was a good fight, and then the other guys were. I think I ended up finishing like 27 laps. I think I hit 26, but the traction was sick, man. It's not about my race, really more about the track. It was just super awesome all day. You could really push your car. That was, I think, the big difference from prior times I was there. There was some traction rolling going on. You could really get into it. I was running medium Amazonia by the time the mains hit. Some of the other guys were saying it's soft. They had jumped from super soft, but I thought it was ready for mediums. Plus, it was warm out. The sun was out all day, beating on the track. Game on, dude. It was awesome. I hadn't raced since the first of the month, so it'd probably been about 5 weeks since I had touched the wheel, and great racing, just great racing. I was happy to be top 5.
Yeah, and I give a shout out to Tim Monty. Tim, I know, is listening to the podcast. Tim has been really improving, so he did really well. Alan, you were up there too. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I said your name after you wrecked, but it happens. It seems like an announcer's jinx. I hate when it happens that way. It seems like I look at a car for a second, I put the kibosh on them, and they
isn't that a whole lot of power to holding your hands now that you get to do the announcing thing a lot?
I know, but Williard hasn't been there. He's the one I really want to wreck.
Well, it's easy. You just take laps off of Williard. That's what I do.
Well, there's another guy, Austin Aikens, that comes out. Austin races at our indoor track, and he goes, "Stop saying my name. I just call him the red car now."
Do you want me to start loosening Matt's wheel nuts? Because I will.
No, I want to beat him fair and square. It's
Boo.
Boo.
Lie, cheat, and steal.
Yep.
You have though, haven't you, Tom?
Every once in a while, he's gotten the better of me most of the time. Now he's starting to get his nitro program figured out. For a while there, his nitro program was really was struggling. So it kind of was. I had a layup there, but then it's kind of flip flop this year. My nitro program's kind of stunk, but I think we're getting it sorted out thanks to Vin's help and other guys. We're getting better at it. So
you and him go back and forth.
And I feel bad. Vin came down. We tested right as before we started tearing the track apart. Vin came down and we fooled around one day, just tested a bunch of stuff. I got my car a ton better, and now the surface is totally different. I'm going to come back to me. Let me finish these results real quick, and then we're going to talk real quick what we did to the track and what's different. 40 plus nitro buggy Dan Ross ended up winning that one. Ophir was out there leading the way. Unfortunately, had an unfortunate flame out, and him and Dan were running pretty much nose to tail a lot of the race. But when Ophir flamed out, Dan kind of took off. Tim Powers, though, again, Tim's rocking. He's running a Techno, and he's a somewhat reserved guy at the track. But man, he can wheel. He does all his talking behind the wheel. Good to see P-Word out there. P-Word finished 4th. Aaron Joyce 5th. P-Word, I know P-Word had to make some adjustments to his car as the day went on. Because when he first got there, I'm like, what is P-Word doing like in the B sort? That doesn't seem right. And then as the day went on, he just kept getting better and better. So I know he was wrenching out there and doing some good stuff. So it was good to see.
I'm still trying to figure out who he's got working for him to get all his stuff around. He runs all these classes, and his stuff's immaculate. and he wrenches and works on everything in between all the rounds. So he's got to have some little midget underneath his workbench or something.
And he cooks like a gourmet chef too when he's out at the track. So I mean, that's my part as a fat guy. That's what I go for. Nitro Truggy. Ophir ended up not running the race. Benny ended up running it, but we made Benny start a whole lap down from the field. He ended up still taking the win. Did really well. Dan Ross in the 2. P-Word finished 3. Arturo was right there with him as well. That was a race of attrition. A few guys were having some clean-out issues and everything else, but a really good race. And then in the sportsman class, Mike Van Horn took the win. I think Mike was running. He had an 8-scale buggy he was running. Ben White was out there with a 10-scale wheeler, which I know we're talking about, outdoor racing and everything, but I still think one of my favorite classes is 10-scale four-wheel drive. It's just an absolute blast. Ben White was out there. He looked really good with his. And give a shout-out to Kyle McCafferty. Kyle's he came from the crawling side of things and is now getting in the 8-scale racing thanks to his buddy Jay Dodson, who's kind of brought him out, and he's doing really well. So it's good to see. But kind of going back to like what do we do different at the track? Ron Borman, you guys, I know George's gonna remember know that name. I think a lot of you guys might know that name, but
Who's that?
Family Hobbies Raceway here in New Jersey. He was always known for having a race during Labor Day, Eastern States Challenge. That was one he took care of that track all the time anyway, like it was his baby. But he went above and beyond when it came to Eastern States Challenge. I used to know he always used to sugar the track. And when he did, the traction really came up. The dust stayed down. And he actually didn't use sugar, though. He ended up using soda syrup. So Jim says, you know what? Let's try soda syrup. We've tried a bunch of stuff. We've tried glue. We've tried the VP Stay Wet. We had some other VP stuff we used at one point to try to get the track to hold together and didn't always have the best results. So we decided this time to sugar it. Enzo Albertoni's been really helpful when he comes out to the track. He'll spend some time saying, hey, you guys should try this or try it this way. And last time he was there, he says, look, go out there, scuff up the track. And what Jim and I were doing as we were moving dirt around and adding dirt to the track in different areas, we would drag the bucket on the way back, just trying to loosen the surface up a little bit. And that brought a lot of the rocks up, which we spent a lot of time picking up rocks. I felt like I was on a chain gang. But we picked up, God knows, bucket loads and bucket loads, tractor bucket loads of rocks out of that track. But when we're all said and done, Mother Nature helped us. We got some rain. The track got a little tacky. Went out there with a 1,000-pound roller, rolled the track a bunch of different times. Then I went out there with the soda, and or the soda syrup, I should say. We mixed it up, put it in a sprayer, and did the whole track with it. And it's kind of where we ended up yesterday. The track held together great. We used to get some really big ruts. We could go out there tomorrow and run a race and not have to do any maintenance to the track. That's how well it held up. Where normally we spend 2 days patching holes, getting stuff ready and cleaned up again. So the track was really good. We got Blue Groove going. It really worked.
What's the soda syrup? Back in the day for street racing, we used to take like grape soda and like a whole bunch of corn syrup. We would boil the soda to get the moisture out and then mix like a ratio of corn syrup with it. It would make a really sticky substance. Is that the same thing you're putting down, Tom?
I think it is. Yeah. Basically, I ordered it all online from a restaurant supply store. I bought 2 5-gallon things of, there you go, George. Brought 2 5-gallon bags of soda syrup. They would, put at a bar or a restaurant. We put that we have a sprayer we can tow behind the tractor. Mm-hmm. Mixed it, 1-to-1 ratio with water and put it on the track. And really weren't sure what we were going to get out of it, but man, it really did work well. And I was really impressed how well it worked. So I'm curious to see how well it holds up. I'm not sure it's something we're able to do for every race, just due to cost of it. But now it's something that we can do. And I think, honestly, the prep of the track, the advice we got from Enzo, taking the time to get the rocks out and rolling the hell out of the track. Again, when we get the rain, you can't roll it the day it rains. But like the day after it rains, depending on how much rain you get, sometimes it's 2 days later, when you roll it, the ground is still soft. And it just packs in really well.
Mm-hmm. Mark has a great point, too, with all the like pit stop just oiled a track. You're sugaring a track. Are some of these tracks in this region going to start going to prep tracks and things like that?
I'd be curious if they do, right? I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Like, I loved watching the e-buggy Nats that were on, 2 weeks ago? I mean, but do I want to race that? To me, it almost looks like A-scale carpet racing. So I don't know. To me, there's a fine line between you want to have. I don't want the track to break apart. I want it to be consistent, but I'm okay with it being a little bit loose. I mean, look, it's one of the reasons I love going to LCRC personally. Is I don't need it to be the highest of grip. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm going to be able to run slicks. But that's a personal preference. I think, picking the right tire and having a little bit of diversity in the track surface isn't a bad thing. I like when there's a difference when you build a groove because, I don't have the pictures available right now. But I took some pictures of the track. I mean, there was a 3-foot wide groove, but we got 12-foot lanes. So you still have to hit your marks to leverage what's there. And I think that's a differentiator that's important to have.
No, I completely agree with that. Like even at WO, we haven't put anything on the surface in years. I think Gavin tried playing around with oil a little bit, and Gavin Vicina played around with oil a little bit in one turn just to test it. But if we have the time and the weather cooperates, we can make a really nice surface where if the sun goes down, we can run slicks just based off of how good the dirt is. But if we don't have the time, then it's just a blown out dust bowl, And so, I mean, even going back to whether you use oil or sugar or syrup, I think it kind of goes back to, well, how much time do you have to prep the track? Can you spend 40, 50 hours a week to play in the dirt? Or can you only touch it a couple times before race weekend? And, how much work do you want to put in? And it definitely, like looking at Pit Stop and other places that have been oiling, it's way easier to work with an oiled track or a sugared track because it doesn't fall apart as easy, like you were saying, Tom. So you don't have to do as much maintenance to it before race weekend.
And look, kudos to those guys at Pit Stop. Kudos to Kaufman for putting that oil down. And, that's a risk too, right? He put all that down the track. What if it didn't work? But I tell you what, looking at the pictures that Kaufman had at Pit Stop, it looks pretty damn good. Thank you, Toby, for covering for me.
What kind of oil they use?
I saw somebody had some pictures.
Fryer oil.
I mean, it was
Fryer?
Really
Fryer. Like deep fryer oil. Use fryer oil.
Fryer oil. No shit. Fryer.
Yeah, because it's illegal to put like engine oil in the ground because of
Right,
EPA
of
and all the ABC boys.
But that's where it came from.
Yeah, right. But vegetable oil is, biodegradable and everything, so you're not breaking any laws there. That's what's the track up was it Michigan or Massachusetts or something, the one up north, Taylor? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Tater races at that one track Tater races at outside. They oil the heck out of it, I guess, and they love it up there. I don't know.
Sounds like Toby's cat wants attention over there.
I thought I heard a cat.
I had to mute it. She's got a big mouth.
But so I don't know. What do you guys think of the prep services? What would you guys like to run on?
I like a mixture of everything. Personally, like I don't care if it's unprepped. Like we all race against each other on the same surface. So at the end of the day, like nobody has to be upset, be like, oh, I can't race on this surface. Yeah, but everyone races on that surface. They're racing against that day. So it doesn't really matter to me. I can see it being attractive to have a prep surface so that when you show up to a track, it's the same and you know what to expect and it's easier to tune for and things like that. But to be honest, I'm going to show up and race no matter what you got. I don't really care.
I'm in Taylor's boat with that where I'm going to race no matter what. But I think I'm kind of enjoying tracks with a little bit of character. Like Motorama this year, how I thought it got pretty blown out, especially on like the Talladega turn. That was a little too much character for me. But I think character makes racing really good across the board, and now you have to completely change your line all weekend long or all race day long. But there's like a fine line to, character's cool, but the track getting blown out can be kind of a handful. And whether it's soap, sugar, oil, whatever holds it together. And like even this is Pit Stop, right? Yeah. So like they race a lot of 10th scale there. I mean, I'm not a 10th scale guy at all, but I'd much rather go out on a high grip track with a 2-wheel buggy than a low grip track with a 2-wheel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think that would
make you want to quit RC when there's no bite.
Exactly. I've tried it before, and I was like, "This is terrible. I'm never racing 2-wheel drive outside ever again."
Like I don't know. Personally, it comes down to like club race versus like big race, in my opinion, to where like just from all the races that I've attended, when it comes to a club race, I don't want to go there and do $60 per run. I want to wear through a set of tires,
Absolutely.
in one run. The times where I go to a big race, I like, for example, like fuel nats and those sorts of things, I expect it. So I come prepared with, 12 sets of tires. I'm going to eat through all of that. You know what I mean? Or whatever. But yeah, on a club level, no, I not a fan. Now, if it's holding it together and it's, doing its thing and it's not creating a high wear, sure, by all means, do it. Like, I don't care. But
George, how was your tire wear yesterday?
To be honest with you, Tom, I haven't checked yet, but I presume there's probably a little bit of wear there.
now, I mean, looking at the picture, was that a picture of your track, Tom? Like
The
that?
first one was.
The second one was pit stop. But
Okay, the one with the straightaway.
Yes,
That's
that
the
was
one.
mine.
Okay, I would say the straightaway. I mean, the tire wear. I would imagine you're going to have tire wear there because there is still rocks on the surface. It's like my local track, technically, like 412. It has like artificial traction because there's so much gravel in the
Kind of
dirt.
like trains.
and it does eat the tires. Like to where like I don't have a set of tires up here that's they're half bald and missing pins because they'll collect a rock and they'll shoot off pins. So I only take used tires there. I never run a new set of tires there because they're just gonna get destroyed.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
No, I'm with you, Mike. I sort of like. I mean, I love racing, but if I had to go to a track that I was going to wear through 2 sets of tires through a weekend, I wouldn't forget the track, no matter how good the traction was, because not only have the entry fees you got to go with, spend $80 in tires plus for a weekend race is that kind of hurts.
Yeah, like there was another track like south from me. I forget what it was called, but they were dirt, then went sugared track, and a lot of people stopped going because they went sugared because you would run a set of tires, and then they went to Astro after that.
WFO.
That's WFO. Yeah. To where we went there for one race after they sugared it, and we never went back. It wasn't worth it. But
Tom, I really like the prep for your track. I mean, besides the fact that it changed, the condition, it was a little dusty before that, but it's off-road, man. I mean, I started racing at track 70. It was a lot of like topsoil. We were using really knobby tires back then. You were whipping dirt up, roosting, whatever the case might be. Like real off-road is, dirt that moves. But I like having the prep surface. It was great to see that groove come up. And, I would definitely encourage you to do it again. I think most guys would prefer to have that than the inverse.
Well, it's certainly something nice now, George, that we have in our toolbox that we can do to prep the track. And we're gonna continue to try things. We're gonna try actual sugar one time. We're just we're still learning. And the one thing I was asking people yesterday was like, hey, just do me a favor, post something up on Facebook, because I know some people came out and kind of piggyback on what Mike just said. Right, he went somewhere one time and I don't want to say he had a bad experience, but he had a lot more tire wear than he expected. And it just got to a point like, I don't think I'm coming back. I hope we did something good enough to say, hey, you know what, give us another chance. Because I'll be honest, again, I wasn't real happy with the way the track was earlier, but really happy the way it turned out now. But, thankfully, we're getting it right at the end of the year. We'll be ready for next season with a lot more knowledge, a lot more experience.
Tom, what is your soil content there? Like, is it a lot of clay or a lot of topsoil or like even mix?
It was originally mostly topsoil. It was native soil that was there. We got some dirt in. Unfortunately, the dirt had a lot of debris in it, but it had a lot of clay content in it as well. Mm-hmm. It's certainly not 100% clay, but we mixed it in with the topsoil.
Right.
So, I mean, it's probably 30% clay maybe at this point, some topsoil, and then just some regular, Pennsylvania red dirt.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I'm no, dirt expert or anything. From what I've experienced, it's worth trying to take note of what your soil content is and then go from there on how you want to bring traction up and everything. Because like WO, for example, it's mostly clay. And I think that's kind of how we can get away with having super high traction environments when the track holds a lot of moisture, but then when the track's not holding moisture, it turns into dry concrete and it's dusty and it's, the slipperiest thing you ever drove on. But that's the difference because we have so much clay in it. If, LCRC, when it's like a good mixture of soil and clay, it can be dry and you can still have your blue groove. So
absolutely. Well, it's funny. I guess another lesson learned. I was having this conversation with Brian Cruz. It's like, Mother Nature makes a big difference. If we didn't get that rain as we were prepping that track where that ground got soft enough for us to roll it and really compact it, no matter what we did with putting it on top of the surface, wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah.
So you need some help from a Mother Nature standpoint too. And it's sometimes nice when you have 2 weeks between a race to prep early so that when you can work around what Mother Nature is going to bring you. Because I think prior to that, I don't think we've had rain for 3 weeks. If we didn't have any rain, we would have never got that track rolled back together no matter what we did. We couldn't have put enough water on it to get it to hold back together. So we will help Mother Nature too.
Seems like a great time to segue into running one of our ads, Tom.
Works for me. Perfect. I'm tired of talking. I talk too much.
Pay the bills, Toby. Pay the fucking bills.
We're going to run a quick video for Dennis Brew's Nitro Caddy. You guys haven't checked out the awesome Bump Master. Super cool new product to go on top of your starter box. Now your pit guy has no excuses not to screw up your pit stop unless you drop the pit box. Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
Do what?
Nothing.
Said yes.
Here we go.
It's a starter box adapter plate. I got tired of the pins moving on me with the boxes. And what this plate does is it affixes the four corners of your chassis to the starter box.
Boom.
Toby, he's bringing the ads to a new level.
Yeah, I hate the music on that one, but it's real hard to try and find music you like that is free and doesn't piss off YouTube and Facebook. So anyway, Tom, what's next?
I got a question for Tom.
Okay.
What happened with the Nitro Caddy yesterday? We didn't physically have one, but we had a gift certificate.
So Reed Frame ended up winning that yesterday.
Nice.
So I got Reed in touch with Dennis. He's going to bring it to LCRC. Reed's coming out to LCRC, so we also have him there. Shout out to Reed. He had a good day yesterday racing, too. I think he was number 6 in one of those. I almost threw his name out there, too. But, he had a good day.
It was pretty funny. I think I saw a picture posted. Maybe it was on your thread. Somebody made a Nitro Caddy out of, like, PVC.
Yeah.
It was sporting their eco caddy, I would call that. But anyway, it was a good effort at trying to make a cost-effective version of the same caddy principle. But I thought that was fun.
Oh, I want to get a hold of Dennis Brewer next race, though, because I do want to get one of those stop sticks and keep it in my pocket. Because one of my biggest fears is having a nitro car run away. When I'm out there marshalling, God forbid it's my car, but if I'm out there marshalling, you want to try to save somebody a motor. There's some trouble, and I know I can reach underneath and just rip fuel lines off of there. That's not always easy to do when the tires are spinning wide open and everything's hot as you know what. I'd like to find something to if I got to spend $20 to save somebody $500 on blowing up a motor, I'm in.
I think it was Cody Sainer that brought it up on our last podcast where he was saying in the perfect world it'd be nice to have a stop stick at every Marshall cone.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, that was Mike. Sorry.
I got to knock what I should go on mute, but I'm so paranoid of a runaway.
We got a lot of comments in the comment section, and just want to
kind of go back. We got Braden Dommel talking about tires and clay. Mike Malone talking about how we went through a lot of tires. I guess he's at the barn. Mike Malone, Alex Schultz looks like an all SET class next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to Kevin for the cancer race. Well, so did Alex too. I mean, we all talk, and we're gonna have a short course truck only class at the cancer race. And I reached out to Mike because I know Mike likes short course truck as well. So that's gonna be maybe 2 full heats of short course truck.
The premier class is back.
Yeah.
Wow, right on.
Well, I do want to watch it, and no offense, just because I like those type of things. I hope it's like 35-mile-an-hour winds when you guys are out there racing. Just like
I hope so too.
So if there's any sort of slight breeze, my car is not leaving the ground.
Yeah.
I can't hold back like that. I'll let that thing fly. Oh, jeez.
Hey, Alex, let me ask you a question. As a race director, maybe it's a good question for everybody, right? If you could instill some knowledge or a piece of advice to new racers, what would it be?
Have your car at the bottom of the stand, ready to go before the race in front of you is done. Set your car down wherever you're given to set your car down immediately at the bottom of the stand. Head out to Marshall. That is the greatest piece of advice I could give, because that is what seems to hold up race programs.
I give you a ton of credit because you keep people on the ball there, which is not easy to do when you got 200 plus grown men playing with toy cars.
Well, at LCRC it's kind of easy because everyone understands there's 350, 400 entries. Yeah, we have a lot of racing we have to get through, and everyone that goes there is pretty well experienced. And Kevin is very good at backing me up, and I'm not trying to say anything bad, but the mice are trained. So everyone knows you set your car down, you head out to Marshall. But it's going back to the local tracks where it's kind of hard, where people are used to something more lax. And I'm used to foot to the pedal, let's get this thing moving. And everyone else is kind of, used to just having their day off, spending it playing with toy cars. So it's kind of weird going in between the two.
Vin, how about you? You've been a little bit quiet. Vin, what if you had to give a piece of advice to some new racers? What would be a piece of advice, whether to be prepared for racing or whatever it might be?
Well, I mean, it depends.
Toby, you're next, so be prepared. Sorry, Vin. Just give us.
I got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, listen, preparation is key. You see Mike right there already doing his tires, getting them ready. I have diffs that are split open, and half done already. They're being drained, so, and of course I have a couple racers I need to do this for. So I have shocks I'm about to split open, and every night I just go through it. I make it so it's not all on one night. I try and break it up so that you do diffs one night, shocks one night, chassis another night, break everything down and clean it. Before you work on your stuff, clean it, clean it really well. Use some of that Cow RC stuff that we've been using lately. This stuff is awesome, man. I've been using the heck out of it, and just excuse to clean the cars. So shout out to Heath for sending us all that stuff. But yeah, clean it and do a little bit at a time. And this way you're going to do it really effectively, and shout out to Mike Malone. He's on it, man. And that guy is doing better and better and better. I think he did pretty well at Barnstormers, by the way. So that would be my advice.
Drop those comments in there too. If you guys have any ideas, suggestions you would like to offer, we'd love to hear them. We'll post them up here.
Vin, you brought up a really good point, man. A lot of times when I wrench, sometimes, procrastination will kill you, right? There's nothing worse than going into a race weekend. You're jamming 2 nights before to rebuild your whole car from beginning to end, just bleary-eyed, going to work the next day tired. But if you break it up into segments, so much easier, and it feels like it just goes a lot smoother, and it's, less painful, right? You can just work on some shocks one night, move into diffs the next night, move your way from the front to the back or vice versa. It's definitely a better way to go.
I like to clean in between all the rounds, all my stuff, and go over the car, because it's while you're cleaning and wiping everything down, you usually find something you might miss. Maybe
Totally
it's
agree.
slightly
I've done that
an
more than once.
axle bolt backed out a little bit, anything like that.
Exactly.
Yep. And like Alex just said, check every nut and bolt. One of the things I did want to talk about and ask you guys in relation to that, and that was kind of be my topic. So we'll just, it was brought up. So let's do it now. Is like when you guys build a new car. I just built a B84. Sorry, George, I know 8 scale, but I'm really excited for this B84. Anyway, when you go through and build it, like there's stuff like these little drive cups right here, right, for the center drive line. And if you look in them and like if you stick a little piece of like a tissue in there, and I bet you'll pull out a bunch of oil. So like this is something that's really key. That how do you guys go and set this up so that you don't have a failure here? Because we've had failures here in the past, and
Soak it in naphtha in my ultrasonic cleaner,
Okay.
and pull out all the oils and stuff.
Yep.
And then I leave the set screw separate so that the set screw doesn't have anything on it as well, and it gets stripped, and then put Loctite on it.
Yep.
I
What
think
kind of Loctite do you use? And do you use like any kind of cleaner besides Sonic cleaner? What do you have in there? Just simple green or?
Naphtha.
So hold on.
Oh, okay. You did say it. Sorry.
I use canning jars for individual parts like that.
Cool.
Because I got a couple pretty big ultrasonic cleaners, so I can do a whole bunch of different things separate. So I might do diffs and I separate. So F for front diff on this random cup that I bought. So I'll separate everything out because I think everything should be matched too for however it's worn in. But I'll separate everything out, and then there might be simple green or some blue Dawn dish soap in another container, naphtha in this one, etc. And then I'll just put water in my ultrasonic cleaner. Unless it's like big parts, like arms and things like that, then I'll usually use a little bit of Moto Wash and then a little bit of Blue Dawn dish soap, and then cleans them out pretty good. Then, of course, I still ream out all the holes for the hinge pins and all that too before I put it all back together, and I polish all my hinge pins and things like that.
Do you do used ones too? Like, will you remount like a used one just in case it flexed a little bit?
After every time I tear a car apart, it gets reamed out, hinge pins, everything gets polished.
Yep. Good advice.
Yep.
Good advice.
I completely
you guys are
rebuild
killing it.
everything
You
in
have
between
another
all
hour.
races.
You make my maintenance program even an hour longer again. Now you make me want to do this stuff.
So I just rebuilt this yesterday, my Nitro buggy. It usually takes me like 7-ish hours or so to do one. I'll tear it completely down, rebuild it all.
So rubbing alcohol, huh, Alex?
I believe that's what Jared Wiggins recommends for the Techno kits. Mike can correct me. I'm sure he knows.
For what, cleaning the metal?
For the screws and the nuts on kits, new kits.
Yeah, I just use brake cleaner. I've used it.
But
for
yeah,
years and-
I remember seeing something Jared was recommending, soaking them on like rubbing alcohol the night before you assemble a new kit. This is specifically with Technos. And I didn't realize that until after I built the last kit I built, because I know some of the metal on metal pieces, even with Loctite, I had them backing out. I mean, you can ask Mike. I'm pretty classic for having loose nuts and bolts. And it's where I recommend everyone find a Mike Egelberger to hand your car to so he can just correct it every time. That's my
Where you put it at, Mike? I'll drop mine off. What day you gonna get?
This coming race will be right outside of Jim Lonzo's trailer, I think.
Low rent district.
Yep. You gotta have the family together for one race.
Cancer race is a good one to do it for. Cancer race, I'm looking forward to that this week. I mean, not only is it a good time seeing all you guys and seeing all our friends in the hobby. They do a lot of good there. I'm trying to talk my wife into making the trip up, but she's got some things happening at home with some of her girlfriends. But that's always a good race, especially a good race for anybody who wants to bring their family out to. There's a lot of stuff going on at night, not only just the normal pit party that Krista and Kevin throw, but they got bingo going on. There's a bunch of charity auctions happening. So it's always a good time. And for a good event, for a good cause. Makes us feel better about spending money on our model racing vehicles.
All this talk about car maintenance, awesome time to mention CarRC. Another one of our podcast sponsors for 2025. I'm going to take a second to run their ad, and you guys can get 10% off using our NERP, NERP, right? Name to get 10% of the products. So here we go, real quick.
Cow RC is your one-stop shop for all things RC maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your vehicles looking good and performing at their best. From MooClean part and chassis wash that's gentle on your RC's components, to jet air blasters that eliminate the need to carry those large and noisy air compressors, Cow RC has you covered. Even down to our convenient hide wipes that keep hands and other surfaces clean. Moose-Lick silicone, oil, and grease sprays, along with Utter Butter grease, and a variety of work mats are all staples of Cow RC's wide range of products. Be sure to use the following discount code to save on your next purchase.
Oh,
You can car looks fresh.
Yeah, that Mood Clean works awesome in one of those
that's good.
detailing brush blasters that you hook up to your air compressor. I love it. It was awesome.
Honestly, a lot of this I love. I mean, I've been lazy in the past with using the compressor at LCRC because it does such a damn good job, but it also not the best thing for your bearings, your pillow balls, and all the other stuff. And Cow RC has got some really cool brushes that for those little areas you really can't get into, you can get to it. And Taylor, I'm trying to be more like you, buddy, in regards that I'm trying to clean the car when I come back every time. Because if I wait to go through 3 heats, and there's a lot of muck on the car. If I can do it a little bit each time, it's really not that bad. And I know some of those Cow RC brushes really help me out a good bit with that.
You guys remember Mazzara, Anthony Mazzara?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he instilled a little one of his thoughts in me one day. I was out by the Kevin's compressor, and he was like, "Don't go over there and clean your car between every round and shoot a whole bunch of cleaning fluid in there, because you're just basically loading up your bearings and just shooting that in there. So you can just go blow the dirt off between rounds. So I've taken that to heart. I just blow it off between rounds. Otherwise, you're just kind of trashing your bearings all day long. So I think that was a good opinion on his part.
Speaking about bearings, and I got a question for you too. Do you have like a set maintenance program for your bearings when you just toss them out per every race or so? Or do you just clean them and check them?
Awesome.
So I have a couple different ways that I go about it. A lot of times, most of the times, especially the JC bearings, like honestly, the AE bearings, like they actually they work really well, especially if you use them once and they're kind of broken in, then you go and you clean them. Like I'll just put them in the ultrasonic and I'll clean them, and then I'll go through and actually lately I've been starting to test with Cow RC's new spray. And I'll tell you guys how that works. But yeah, just a little bit, usually just, clean it out, a little bit of mineral oil, and they're good to go. WD-40 is another good way to clean out your bearings. That's like a step I'll usually take, so if I simple green it, then I'll throw it in a tub. That'll get all the dirt off the surface. And then I'll put it in a little WD-40, which is, I guess, a little bit of lubrication, more of a degreaser. And then from there, I'll add some mineral oil. And that's worked really well on, let's say, the JC bearings and stuff like that. In the past, I've even packed a little grease in there if I want the bearings to last a little longer. But if you want it to be fast, you got to clean them out and use some mineral oil, and that's the way you make a fast bearing. Might not last as long, but that's how you do it, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm going to test that new stuff from Cow RC, and I'll do a little thing on that. But yeah, getting back to what we were talking about. So this stuff with Cow RC, it's MooClean electrical cleaner and degreaser. And what's cool about this, I'm going to just read it out. Ideal for the proper cleaning of electrical motors, gears, suspension, removes oil, grease, dirt, cleans nitro from electrical parts. So this stuff is pretty safe to use, even around your electronics. But I think using something like this to clean out, your metal parts, and then from there, taking a set screw, maybe not the one you're going to use, but just kind of driving it through there is going to kind of clean out the grooves in there, and then like Taylor said, you definitely want to clean your set screw as well. So like I'll shoot them with a little shot of this, And then to Loctite it, there's a couple different things that you can use. On the Cow RC site, you guys can. This thing is so old, but this is the Loctite that they sell, which works well. I've used, and again, this is kind of old, some AE Loctite, but there's also stuff that you can get at AutoZone that I'm going to try out under the direction of my buddy Kurt Wenger, who's been on the show, Shell Racing. So he said there's actually like an orange. It's not Loctite. In fact, I'm going to look it up real quick and tell you guys exactly what he said.
Is it the Permatex brand?
I think so. Yes, Permatex Orange Gel Thread Locker.
Yeah, I've used it.
And
I use the blue gel. I do like the gel stuff better.
So this is actually.
There you go, Mike. That's it.
This is it's like a stick. It's like a glue stick.
Yeah. So I'm hearing that's a good way to go. Blue Loctite, I'm sure most of them are going to work well as well. But anyway, that was my take on what to do with that. We had a couple really good. Mark Logan Permatex Orange Gel. That's awesome. Thank you.
Mark had another question. Are you cleaning your new bearings, Vin, or are you just putting them in the car when they come out of the?
So like for example, with this car right here, this new B84, I just used the stock bearings and I put them in here. And this car, my first build on anything is completely stock to the bone, stock, and the setup is exactly out as it is out of the book here. And I plan on practicing it this way. Like I do some coaching at Trains and Lanes. So anyone who wants some coaching, hit me up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are kind of my days that I might be able to sneak away. But I want the full customer experience. Now, if we're racing and we're going to LCRC where the competition is stacked, I'll use some JC bearings and I'll clean them the way that was talked about. Now with those JC bearings, I don't need to clean them out before I use them. I can throw them right in. They're free enough right out of the package. So it really kind of depends on the bearing. AE bearings, there's some grease in there because out of a kit, you expect those bearings to last longer. Whereas JC understands that, Jason knows that you're looking for performance and to maintain your bearings and they're coming out of the package ready to rock. I really like that. So, it depends on the application, but
I would say depending on the application too, for my own self, like if it was going to be an indoor car, I run all ceramics. And then I clean them out before I even install new ones. But like my 8 scale, like I'll only run ceramics on the diffs. I'll just run regular bearings on the hubs and stuff because I'm changing them out so often because the dirt and stuff, it gets.
That makes a lot of sense. Yep.
How often are you changing them out, Taylor?
I feel them after every race, like every event, and if it feels like it's got any grit to it, toss. Like I'm not even messing with it. So I don't really have like a lifespan. I should. I know.
But I agree, right? Sometimes I've had ones that last a long time. I've had ones that go bad after one weekend.
Yeah.
And you don't always know. I don't throw them all away. I just try to throw it. I do the same thing. If they're gritty, they go.
Generally, I'll probably run like half a season and then just change out all the bearings to fresh new ones by then. So,
you guys, I wanted to ask you a question. Right. So we've been bringing some content to the RC community, both of us, separate podcasts. And I wanted to ask your opinion of what you think that your contribution to the Northeast racing community has been. Not like in terms of the podcast. Like for us, we've had a great number of guests. Guys like Chicky, Jared Barden, Kurt Wenger, Jason Rona. Some names that were brought. We've had podcasts about members of ours that unfortunately passed away, so we could memorialize some memories and some great race stories. That's what I think our contribution has been. But what do you guys feel that you guys have contributed to the scene?
That is a really good question.
Do you want to go first, Alex?
No, I think you got first.
So Alex started out this whole deal, and was it conversation at Motorama that started it, or was it before?
Well, no, we started before Motorama.
Okay.
And it was Davey and I we were driving out the Trains and Lanes
Mhm.
for Sean Duffy's Dog Days Winter Series, and it was the first race of the series, and Davey and I was going to announce it. So it's a 4.5 hour trip, and we were listening to Lefty, and then because it's a 4.5 hour trip, we listened to a whole episode of Lefty, and then we listened to an episode of Nerp, and then Davey and I were just like, we should just start doing this, because Davey and I, when we take trips, we just talk RC. And I'm like, just put a camera out, we can just start it, and then we put a camera out, and then somehow you got involved, and somehow Mike got involved, and here we are.
I love your guys' format, man. It's always a good time. It cracks me up.
I don't even know what our format is.
But it feels like we're in the car riding, talking RC. I mean, we try to do the same thing here. But
no, yeah, you guys do a great job. I love listening to you guys. Don't get me wrong.
I thought you were going to say you almost fell asleep at the wheel and had to pull over. No, but seriously, like at the end of the day, would you say that it's more about focusing on the racing scene, the individual racers? Like, what content do you feel that you put out so far that makes you the proudest?
I was gonna lead into this. Alex, where are you going? If you want to go, I'll let you go.
I mean, I can go. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna kind of ramble, I think, but I like making it a big deal. You know, like whether with our guest, whoever local racer it may be, or whether it's talking about one of the races or talking about the track prep our local tracks are doing. You know, I want to make whatever's going on in our community of RC racing, I want to make it a big deal, because to me, this hobby is a big deal to me, and even regionally and locally, it is a big deal to me. And I want everyone else to feel that way, because what we do is super cool, and it's a very tight-knit family community. And I want everyone else in the world to see that. And like, what did Kevin tell us the one time? He told us that no one's going to go out and buy a kit and start racing because they listen to your podcast. And then we got a message on Facebook from this random guy. He's like, yo, I listened to your podcast. I went out and bought a kit and I'm going to start racing.
That's awesome.
I screenshot it and sent it to Kevin. I agreed with Kevin. I was like, we're a niche within a niche. I didn't think we would appeal to.
And that dude started a whole YouTube channel about building the car and going racing. But, you know, I want to do what I can to help more people get into the hobby, because I think this is the coolest thing.
There you go,
I think
man.
it all starts small.
But I think it makes everybody more approachable too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
right.
does. I listen to that guy, you know. I know that guy. I heard him on this thing.
I feel like I know Drake. I watched all his videos. We hang out now.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what you said is a key point there. You know, you want to bring focus to what's happening in your micro world, right? Like the tracks that you go to, the hobby shops that you're a part of. And without you doing that, right, there's less momentum. Mm-hmm. So you're bringing that momentum. You're bringing that recognition to the local people, to the stores, to the local tracks. You know, and I admire that, because that's what the original concept. When I called Toby one night, and same thing, right? You were watching us or Lefty. I was watching Lefty, and basically said the same exact thing. And I hit Toby up, and you know, Toby and I, you know, we were acquaintances for many years, but we're definitely not like, you know, the brothers that we are today, right, Toby?
Right.
But in general, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, being in this hobby a long time, we're definitely older than you guys, right? So for me and for the other guys, when I started bringing the idea to the table to them, it was really about what could we bring forward to the community other than the tracks and the racing, right? To talk about great racers that are out there that we've seen come and go. Like, I would love to get Anthony Mazzara on this podcast. I would love to get that guy here. And there's other people that we've tried. Some people, you know, either don't want to be on the camera or they just move past it or whatever the case might be. But I think these are important moments, whether it's the racers that we're documenting, the stories, what you guys are doing, the individual stores, the track. You know, one of my best friends, you know, Alan, for sure, his family had a hobby store. I know how important that is, especially in today's environment, right, where everybody can buy everything online. Supporting that store, sending people there, doing the promos for the commercials so that people know locally or within maybe an hour away, they can go there, they can race cars, they can buy stuff, you know, maybe they're into games, whatever the case might be. But, you know, trying to pay all this stuff forward, whether it's the exposure or it's the interviews, and trying to just make connections and new friends as a result of this. You know, I think collectively between all of us together, I think we're doing great things for the hobby, at least more than I've seen as being a part of it in the last 15 years, you know, and it's been a huge part of my life. And I know part of your guys' life, you know, you get into this hobby and in some degree it's, you know, almost like another marriage.
Yeah. As Davey likes to put it, because it seems like ever since we started this thing, like just RC hobby for us has just blown up, and like how much more time we put into it. And as Davey says, slow is fast is not the true statement in the RC podcast world. It's fast is fast, because it's just, you know, at first it was me and him sitting here not knowing what to talk about, and now it's some guy from Australia likes to listen to our stuff. Like, and then now we're here doing this with you guys. We started from listening to you. Like, we want to do what they do, but in our region. And like, what's going on? How do we get here?
I'd say when we started this, it was just like me, my friends, just kind of like having a good time talking about the things that we're going to talk about anyways. We just decided to kind of record it and take advantage of that. And then, Alex, when you put me in charge of Facebook, there was like 20 people maybe subscribe to it. I'm like, you know what, we can push this out and stuff. And all of a sudden right now we're 4 less from 1,000 people on Facebook. I just checked. So it's like, I'm humbled and blown away at how many people want to listen just to our shenanigans and just us talk. And we have now, like, originally our concept was just kind of like focus on the region, really promote the region, stuff like that. But also when we have people like Camden Lime reached out to me and asked to come on the podcast here a few weeks ago, it's like, well, we're going to have people like that aren't actually in the region come on to the podcast, because the people in our region that are racing want to hear what these people say. And whatever sound that is.
Who do we have in here to speak?
Is that a dragon?
That was an air compressor kicking off.
And and the success of it,
Somebody hacked us.
I'm asking the questions that I want to ask to the people that come on the podcast, whether they're in the region or out of the region, because they're probably the same questions that most other people want to ask too.
There's no doubt about that. And I think you guys do an awesome job at that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm super jealous of you guys for having Scotty Ernst on. That was the greatest episode. You know, of course, he's like my idol in the community. So listening to him talk, and that was very cool to hear you guys interview him.
I have no fear of asking somebody, and then it doesn't help. You know, I've known Scotty for a long time, so I'm going to Motorama for a long time, but it doesn't help having the guy in the center cube at the top being best pals with him up on the announcing stand to kind of break the ice. But for me, that was most definitely one of the, you know, best interview people that we could have had on the show, because he just brings so much to the table.
Oh, he does. He's done so much for this hobby just by himself.
And he was excited to want to come on. It was like even better, you know what I mean? It was great. So what do you guys have on the radar for this coming season, right? This year is about to close out soon, right? Racing's almost coming to an end. Not quick, but not too quick. But I heard Tom talking about indoor season already. I was like, no, don't fucking talk about indoor. Not yet.
As far as like guests that come on, or our racing program?
No, I mean, do you guys have any like any concept shows that you have up and coming, or any special guests, or anything that the 2 of you or 3 of you that have been working on that you're going to bring, you know, kind of change or some new flavor to the podcast? Or
there's 2 real big names that are pretty confirmed. I don't want to say anything or allude to it till it happens. So one of them's going to wrap up the year with us, and another one maybe in a few weeks or something.
Nice. Stay tuned. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Yes, stay tuned. That, and at least on my end, I talked to the other 2 guys here. I have plans of stuff that I wanted to personally make, to where throughout all my travels with RC, like I was very fortunate to spend a lot of time with like Bornhorst and Lutz, traveling with them with techno and everything. So I picked up a lot of information, right? And I want to share that with people. So I wanted to do things at this desk, making videos and showing people stuff that they may have never seen before. You know, like different tips and how to do stuff. How your stuff does, basically to make sure your stuff doesn't fall apart, right? Like one thing I can pride myself on is I don't think I ever DNF'd like a nitro race unless it was a complete motor failure, which you can't. That happens, right? So I don't know, just different things, the different build stuff. Like I want to buy a new kit and go start there, but so I have some stuff that I can do.
Who's your Toby on the podcast?
Me.
Mike, Uncle Mike.
Yeah,
He's a multitasker and he's gluing tires and producing.
trying to.
Uncle
I
Mike is
got
our
3.5
tech
sets done so far.
So, Mike, what's the worst thing you got to do when you have to rebuild a car? What do you like doing least when it comes to building a new kit or?
That I like doing least,
Yeah.
honestly,
And why is it turnbuckles?
it's never turnbuckles. I don't really care about turnbuckles. Like, I don't know what I would say. An existing car, maintaining it, the thing I have to do least is starting, because once I start, I can't stop, right? But it's hard for me to start and actually break it down and rebuild it. A kit, I mean, I can have it done in a few hours, but I love building kits. But that's just me. Now, if you're building turnbuckles to make it easier, use some grease or chapstick.
Yeah, chapstick's been what I always cheat with.
I always do, yeah, either one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I hate gluing tires, but here we are.
What are you gluing up, by the way?
Super secret. No, I'm kidding. They're actually clays. There's two different flavors of clay from Promotion. There's a single dot and a double dot Oro compound, where after the last race we stayed after and did some testing, and clay tires were incredibly good. So I bought some stuff that I've never owned before after running Gavin Vicina's, or I don't say his last name, Gary V. After running his stuff, I bought my own. I just call him Gary V. Whatever. But yeah, no.
Boo.
And it's surprising. Like I ran his clays when it was wet, and they were fantastic. And we ran them when they were dry, and they were just as good.
Vin, didn't JC just come out with some new clay compounds too? I saw some G2 and G3 stuff.
They sure did. Yeah, so the Dirt Bites, or I'm sorry, the Dirt Web 2s, and I believe the Double Bars as well are available in clay compounds now.
Ooh.
And multiple clay compounds as well.
Ooh.
So definitely, after what these guys are telling us, I mean, that might be a pretty good investment.
These three different treads is what I'm gluing.
Nice.
Yeah. That's style. So
I'm really I want to try my relapses and silvers on my short course truck at LCRC. I have them. I haven't glued them up, but after what Mike and Gavin found out, I really want to try those compared to the greens.
I bought some silver dirt webs because we're going to AMS later on this year. A few guys, and then I'll have to glue them up. I got to glue them up at some point eventually, anyway. But I didn't buy enough. I'm about to buy more before AMS if I like them at LCRC. But might be
Vin, do you have more details on the different compounds of clay tires that are coming out?
I don't, only because I switched off. My computer ran out of juice, and I can't multitask right now and look it
That's
up.
all right.
But
you know
Is that why you're in portrait, Vin? Is that why you're in portrait now?
yes. Sorry, guys. I got it to work off the phone though.
Alex, I got another question for you. Race directing. You've seen it all, brother, right?
I don't know about all, but
well,
seen a good bit.
Hold my beer. I'll be there next weekend.
What's memorable? Whether it's awesome race with the pros, last lap, last corner pass. Is it an argument on the driver's stand? Is it, some marshal getting hit, unfortunately? What are some of the things that stand out in your mind as a race director?
I mean, there's always some sort of silent kerfuffle of someone being upset coming up to the booth for a variety of reasons.
Do tell. Do tell.
No, they aren't, because they it gets nipped in the butt quick, and it's not really worth talking about. It's not that much drama. It's just kind of normal, like whatever. But I have a lot of good memories, but my favorite now is probably, what was it? ProTech Cup, when Harmer drove around Aiden Horn on the last turn, and Expert, and just seeing, because I don't know what, because Davey and I were in the booth together doing the double mic thing, and we're watching the timer, and when they crossed and we knew it was going to be their last lap, I'm like, Davey, let me have the last lap. I'm just going to riff. And I just went off, and he went around, like when they were coming off, you could just see everyone around the track, and the video Toby posted, everyone's like on their feet. And when Greg passed them, just felt like the whole property just erupted. And it would, like, I every time I see that video to this day, I get chills.
Toby, let's go to the videotape.
He doesn't have
I think that was a swear word, so it was good he's muted.
I got to see that. I haven't seen that.
Oh, wow.
That must have been legendary, bro.
Oh, it was great.
Harmer's
It was.
controversial, but, I love Greg just for the fact that guy doesn't have any time to practice, doesn't have a track man, and he comes out and he's just the hometown fucking hero, bro.
Leonard Skinner said Saturday night special. Harmer's a Saturday morning special, starting his practice early.
Hey, man, whatever, but much respect to that kid. I mean, if you can put it down with a pro or pass a pro and be at his level and not be having anywhere near the same wheel time, oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
I personally like watching Alex try to interact with pro drivers because he doesn't know how to talk.
No clue what to do.
Yeah, George might not know that.
He claims
But,
up. It's really funny.
Hey, I introduced myself to Adam Drake, and I said hi to Ryan Lutz. Those are two big feats to overcome.
I have that video queued up. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Can you hear it?
Up the stairs.
Now we can.
A little loose. Aiden a little loose, but Aiden was a little faster as they come off the ProTech rocket through the JC roundabout. Jim jump out of Harmer. They're coming through. Harry's paperclip. Oh, he's all over him. Aiden in the 2 spot. A last turn pass. Harmer, 4th win in a row in Expert night.
You can't turn it off now. All right. That was
Awesome.
cool.
Awesome. I mean, imagine slow motion for him right in that corner. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, I see the window. Is it real? And he just took it. Just
I don't know
amazing.
how those drivers can make an inch turn into a foot wide and see that from 100 feet away.
I was gonna say 1 inch difference where he was in that turn. He was gonna be in the backside of Aiden, not passing him.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, did Aiden already recognize before Greg got in there that it was going to be open?
Yeah. According to Aiden's video, like YouTube video, yes.
Yeah, Aiden knew that he blew that turn out enough for Greg to get in. That's what because I caught an interview quick right after that race, and I asked Aiden, I'm like, anything you would have done differently? He's like, well, not give Greg room on the last turn. Fair enough.
Fair enough, man. No doubt. No doubt. That had to have that was a hard pill to swallow for sure. But
yeah.
Hey, man.
Tell you what, though, I got to give credit to anytime you see Aiden. I'm sure Taylor, you see it with Lutz and a lot of the guys you see at LCRC. I mean, they work. They're working all day, man, getting those cars right. They're trying all sorts of stuff. I mean, I watched Aiden Horn. He wrenched from the time he got there to almost to the time he left. He was wrenching. I didn't see him horsing around too much. He might have slept in a little bit, but he didn't have to race till a little bit later in the day on Sunday. But he was a wrenching fool.
I don't know. It's hit or miss because sometimes it surprises me. Like, not that Drake wasn't working, but he's got his stuff dialed so well when I was sitting next to him. I don't think he really did too much to his setup over the weekend. Like, he kind of knew what to expect, and his cars run really good. So he didn't make a whole lot of changes. Like Lutz over Mugen, a couple little changes and stuff like that, but those guys are also accustomed to the track and they know what to expect a little bit.
I still can't get over how they were running double bars all weekend, or almost all weekend at Mugen.
I ran them. They worked great. I was really happy with them.
So, Taylor, you made one comment there. It kind of comes back to like what Vin was saying.
Yeah.
To where preparation going into the event is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we know those guys prep the crap out of their stuff before they go to the race. So,
yeah.
What do you guys think is so unique about somebody like Greg, right? Take away Greg from Greg, right? Let's just call him Joe. But at the end of the day, like, you have a local guy, right, who doesn't get a lot of wheel time, but can come out and compete at such a high level against guys that are always racing. Like, you ever stop and think about that? Like, what is the difference? Is it a kid who played tons of video games, right? Or somebody just keep the eye on the ball, or somebody that can just, like, put that focus in like blinders? I think, you know, there's something unique to that. It's not everybody can do that, quite obviously, right? But
yeah,
Harmer's got something going on.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of like the answer to that. It was if I knew the answer, I'd be just as fast. You know,
yeah, right.
So I don't know.
And I don't know Greg at all, other than LCRC. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if he plays video games. You know, I don't know what he's doing outside of racing. But
VRC, he's like insane.
Maybe
well.
that might be the thing right there. I mean, I'm terrible at VRC. I do it,
Horrible.
you know, every once in a blue moon, but I suck. You know?
Well, did I say if you could play VRC on a regular monitor, when you go to the track, it's like playing on a 90-inch TV.
Right.
You see a hell of a lot more. They're just
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny. Benny Comerian. Benny got crazy fast, obviously.
My God.
Benny was playing VRC like crazy. And I know in talking to Greg and talking to Benny, they said they learned a lot of car control in the air playing VRC, which is interesting. And I noticed I watch these fast guys drive. You know, I think we had this chat one other time. You know, if my car's, I can get the nose high, tail high kind of figured out.
Oh, yeah, I could make it do this.
Yeah,
I
but
can't
it's the
do
left
this
to right thing.
nonsense.
These guys are whipping it. Yeah, I don't know. I got a 50-50 shot. No, I don't.
Yeah.
It's 99-1 that I'm going to turn the wrong way.
Yep.
But I think
I'm
these
the
guys
same
have
way.
amazing car control. They're getting the car to land off jumps in specific ways, so they're setting themselves up for the next turn, not just on angle of entering the turn, but how the chassis is hitting when it lands. So,
like we think they don't make mistakes, but like on jumps, the driver, like the Greg Harmers, the Ryan Lutzes, you know, the Mayfields, and you know all the expert drivers, pro and local, they're making the same mistakes we do. But they know so much car control, they correct it and make it look like that's something they meant to do the whole time, you know?
Gibbler makes it look easy. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just flying 1,000 mile an hour every turn. It looks like he's literally slingshotting the car in every section of the track, but still making it hit the mark every time. It's really, I love watching Gibbler run.
you just never count him out, right? Because if he gets in front, he'll drive at 98% and still be crazy fast.
Mm-hmm.
But when
I
he has
told
to
Gibbler
when he has
at
to
the
put
end
in
of
high
Mugen,
gear,
I was like,
holy cow, he can go.
He'll pull some stuff off too. He's not scared to try something crazy.
I told him I think he's one of the fastest people on the track. He's just got to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, at all the racers locally, who do you think is top dog for local racers?
As in, like, the Pittsburgh area or, like, the whole, like, Northeast?
In the Northeast, who would you say are, like, the
Who's
top
got the
three?
potential to go to the pro level?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
You're so quiet, I got to pick on you.
I mean, well, there's four
Stick close to
guys.
them.
There's four guys. They just don't devote enough time to it. I mean, they're also older families, kids, so on and so forth. But kid-wise,
Under 25.
under 25, I don't know.
Besides Toby,
Yeah, I don't
Alex, Taylor, and Ben.
Yeah. You know. Remember, I did beat Mike, obviously.
Oh, here we. All right,
You
I'm
don't.
gonna screenshot that post you have. I'm just waiting.
We just did an
And
hour and a
Mike's
half
too nice of a
podcast
guy.
only talking about that.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know because you can't really say Greg because he doesn't race enough. You know, same thing with Gavin. He doesn't race enough.
Gibbler, I assume.
Gibbler.
There's 18 different Gavins, and then there's
Nipple. No, the I can't even think.
Nipple, Yoder,
Joey Bourdon. No. Does he qualify as our heir? Is he a little too far west?
He's Ohio, and he is on the pro level. So.
Yeah, so I mean, Joey's pretty much already there. So is Spencer Heckert. They're both Ohio guys. I mean, that's who I had my. That's who I would have put my hat into the like.
Both of Vinny's kids, Dylan and Aiden, they're wicked fast.
Dan Sedler.
Yes. And Schufelt too. I mean, he's Canadian. I don't know if that counts, but
Toby, who'd be your pick?
Douglas Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wicked fast.
I thought he was on pro level. Maybe I could be mistaken.
He's definitely up there. I know he's factory for a couple different companies, so he's up there.
Sorry, asking me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to attend different things at once. Scheffler, obviously. Norwegian. Harmer. That's two that spring to mind.
I tell you what, Benny's got opportunity.
Oh, yeah, Benny. Yeah,
Benny's got opportunity.
A couple of years, he's going to be destroying everybody.
But that's the thing to me that's interesting, especially the dads or moms that are bringing their kids out to the track. There's something that just happens with some of these guys that it's a light switch. And I don't know if it's someone that age where all of a sudden it just clicks and they can get really, really good extremely fast.
Colin. Funari, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another great example.
Yeah, I was just about to say Colin.
And then the Lingermans too. Bradley Lingerman.
McCutcheon. He's pretty fast.
McCutcheon, yeah.
Oh, Garrett. Yeah, Garrett's.
Gary V. I mean.
Oh, Gary. Yeah, Gary V.
I think it's worth mentioning too. Like at Mugen Challenge, for example, we have all these, top level paid pros paying their mortgage, playing with toy cars, and our local regional drivers aren't in the mix with them. It's not like it's Lutz, Setzer, pros filling out the top 5 and then our guys. It's they're in the mix of it. Whether it's Schreffler or Harmer or Gibbler or Aiden or,
I'd throw Jamie Grayek in the hat there too. If he get a chance to race a little bit more often,
hell yeah,
he'd be on that level.
Jamie's one of the 4 of the older guys that was on my list.
Yeah, I'd have Jamie and Treff in there for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Vin, I got a question for you down bottom. I don't travel as much as some of you guys, that's for sure. But in the different regions in the country, where do you think the most talent lies? Not in the pros, but let's say in the regular racers, club racing.
That's a tough question. I actually believe that there is talent everywhere. I mean, Greg Harmer, a perfect example. I mean, that kid, I believe he does put in a lot of work actually, and I believe it's VRC, and there's a lot more behind the scenes that goes on than he might admit to. But there's a lot of people like him that can show up and do really well. I mean, if you want to know, like really, you look at the race time events, and look even at intermediate. That the A main stack. I mean, those guys and gals. Look at Maddie. Making it every time. She's always up there, and it's stacked. And then, like they're just some experience away from being at that pro level, and some of them are, in fact. So I mean, that's a really good place to look at and see where people are coming, because they're even coming from Canada. Down south they get to run a lot. And then you look at LCRC and look at the level of talent that we have and the level of talent that's coming up is tremendous. So I mean, I personally being part of Roar, and I think I personally, and one of the things that I've been working on and advocating for is to have regional races, which a lot of the regions do, but not every region is doing. And I believe that should be your gateway to the nationals, and then further from there to the worlds. And I believe, like, just like Supercross, there's a couple of people bringing up that awesome Supercross race. You better believe, like, if you want to get to that level, you got to put in the work. So, you guys made a lot of really good points there as well, and when you do put in the work, like, it's tough because, you try and tell kids, like, hey, like, make a go of it. But at the same time, it's tough. It's tough to pay the bills when you think about how much it costs. Like, for example, we're going to that Vermont race, and just the hotel, that we have to stay in and all that. You're talking, $1,500 right there, and then we got to get there. We need to make sure our equipment is rebuilt and primed. So, I mean, and then you look at, like, I used to be a road racing instructor. Look at those guys on a race weekend. Like, Taylor did that too with street bikes. You on a race weekend, you're going through multiple sets of race compound tires, the fuel to get there, multiple sets of rims, a A and a B bike. So you're looking at, like, spending, a couple $1,000s a weekend there too. So any of these sports, these people are really putting in a good amount of time, effort, and money. That's another road racing, another sport where it's tough to get, a return on your investment. So, yeah, I mean, where they're coming from was the question. How I got to here, I'm sorry, guys. But, I think there's talent all over, and it's about the effort that you want to put in, just like anything else. Just like when I was teaching road racing, watching the kids come up, and it's the ones that really put in that effort. And yes, they had to have talent as well. So it takes talent, it takes money, it takes time, and experience. So it's a whole factor of things and where you're getting that from. But the talent, we got talent right here at LCRC. We're really, really lucky.
You think the warmer climates like West Coast or Southeast, some of the guys are writing over here in the comments, do you think that's an advantage because of the extra season, or just so, like, I guess my question is more specific. At LCRC, do you find that some of the guys that come from out of state who are not pros, do you find that any of them coming from a distance are in the top 5?
Yeah, look at these Canadian guys, like Schufelt, and look at, there's a bunch of guys that are coming from distances, and they're coming to prove themselves because they know that the competition is fierce at LCRC.
Cool. That was really the question. Good answer.
All right, where are we at here now? We are at an hour and 45. I think it's a great time to wrap it up. It's way past my bedtime.
By 2 hours for you.
It is. I got to stay up till 3:30 and prep my car. Not
now. I learned all this knowledge. I've
That's right.
been learning all the things I've been doing wrong. So, Mike, good thing you do all my work.
Sweet. Well,
what I'm here for.
Toby's giving us the old wrap it up signal. So
usually it's this.
Taylor covered that. Taylor covered that a few minutes ago. So
I did.
That was a prelim to the shutdown. But anyway, it's been such a pleasure having you guys on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To say the least, and the thanks is not just from me; it's from all of us here on the panel. Without all the efforts that you guys are doing, without the great ideas that you guys are bringing to the table, there's a lot of people that wouldn't know about our great hobby. And at the end of the day, that's why we're doing it. Hopefully that's why you're doing it. We're trying to bring this hobby to newer and newer people all the time, more exposure. If we can convert some of them into racers, great. If not, we're just getting more people involved in the RC hobby. And at the end of the day, that's the goal, right? We're trying to keep this alive. We wonder where it'll be years from now. But the only way to keep it going and make sure there's racing happening is to go out and go racing and get into the hobby. So thank you guys so much for promoting, creating content, and most importantly, coming on the show tonight.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. And thank you for everything you do with everything all of you do with your podcast. And I mean, you're one of the reasons that this thing got started. So, I mean,
I remember looking forward to dropping podcasts, and I'd message Toby. I'm like, hey, when's this dropping? Just hoping like it would drop so I could listen to it on the way to like a racing event that weekend, things like that. So you've been doing it long before we started.
I should have been hitting you up for information on when the podcast was going to drop.
Yeah, I've gotten a little better at dropping it a little sooner now.
The one way to know now is, like, subscribe, all that good stuff before Vince says it. Make sure you guys go on Apple Podcasts, look up Slow is Fast. Show's awesome. Follow them on Facebook as well. Do the same thing for us. One thing just for anybody listening, just make sure you guys, hey, next time you're at the track, do us all a favor. You find somebody to go over and introduce yourself, see if you can help them out, see if they have any questions. Let's get more people into the hobby. Let's get more people doing it, because the more the hobby grows, the better it is for everybody.
Agreed.
Hey, I was just looking through the comments real quick. Mark Logan, what was your question again? For I think you had a JC question, or if you want, you can shoot me a message, bud.
He had a question that I think I showed a picture that he asked about the tires.
Okay.
Not inside, but I brought one out and looked at it. It's not, they're never webbed. They're designed for the grooves of the rubber.
Gotcha.
So
thank you.
Before we split, a real serious message. Taylor's got the shirt on to prove it. There's a cancer race happening at LCRC. Maybe Toby can tell us all the great things about that event, since he's got an intimate connection with it. I'm sure all of us have somebody, if not directly, maybe an extended family who suffered from cancer. So this is a great event.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think last year they raised upward of 25,000.
26.
Yeah.
26,145, I believe.
Whatever, dude.
We did the numbers. We told you. We did the numbers.
Don't make me say the F word again. But anyway, they have a huge Chinese auction style thing. So you could amazing prizes from a lot of the vendors and a lot of outside companies and brands too. So generates a ton of money for the cancer. What's the specific name of the
St. Jude's?
St. Jude's. So
it's
a great time. It's a huge race. As big as Mugen, maybe, and a little bit more relaxed. But you guys, if you haven't been, it's worth checking out. Come and win some really cool prizes and do a good thing. So
awesome.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, I'm sure we'll all see each other at the track soon. For those of you who got a chance to race soon, good luck. For those of you who don't, get out to a track soon and let's go racing. My name is George. I'm here with the Northeast RC Podcast and my group of co-hosts, as well as the guys from the Slow is Fast podcast. I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you again for the next episode next month, not only in our podcast, but at theirs as well. Make sure you do like Tom Petrella said. Please share. Please thumb it up. Please pass it along. And most importantly, grab your car, hit the track, and go racing. We'll see you guys soon.